It's a sad fact that 4 children die every day in the United States from neglect and child abuse. In the court system, the children often do not have a voice of their own. Some children can be tied up in the juvenile court system due to the lack of helpful and accurate information on their living conditions. The Court-Appointed Special Advocates Program is a volunteer effort designed to help children in need within the juvenile court system.
CASA is part of a national organization. There's a national CASA in Washington, and we advocate for children that have come to the attention of the juvenile court. And how we do that is a juvenile judge appoints us to a case, and he will then, it comes to the Bristol office, and the 2 coordinators look through the case, and we decide who is the best volunteer for that job. The volunteer is then appointed to the case, and they begin their investigation. The volunteer is the eyes and the ears for the judge. They investigate, facilitate, advocate, and monitor that case for the judge. All of the information goes back to the judge in a confidential report. That report is then given with recommendations so the judge can make an informed decision. CASA was founded because of a juvenile judge out of Seattle, Washington, who could not sleep at night, and he didn't know what he was sending these children home to, and so he helped form the National CASA program.
CASA is an invaluable tool to my court because they can do things I can't do. They can be my eyes and ears. They go out and visit with the families and members of the families, and especially the children, and they gather information by talking to these folks, and they do a report for me. I can't hear everything and see everything they can see and hear because I'm sitting in a courtroom. They're out on site. They tell me what they see and what they hear, which helps me make a decision on what's the best for the children. What we're about in our court is taking care of the kids. You know, that's what our job is, to figure out what the problem is and try to fix the problem. We're not there to punish people. That's not our job. We're there to try to figure out what the problem is in the family or with the kids and try to find, through resources that we have, ways to correct the problem so the children have a good life.
The CASA role is very unique inside the court system because we are an officer of the court. Every volunteer, after they complete the training course, they are actually sworn in, and they are sworn in officers of the court. So with that responsibility, they have a standard of which to work with, and so a CASA volunteer, they will go and complete their investigation in a manner so that it can be presented back to the judge in an unbiased form. Because our volunteers are not advocating for the parents, we're not advocating for the grandparents or whoever may be petitioning the court. We are strictly advocating for that child and what is in that child's best interest.
A volunteer role in CASA can also provide its own personal rewards.
Just knowing that I am helping, and that not only am I helping, but that the children, the families, for the most part, everybody is very grateful that we are there, because we are a special entity, you know, by being independent of government, of state services. It allows us an opening into the situation that otherwise might not be found.
When I stopped working for a living, I'd always said that I wanted to put an apron on and make furniture, and that I did for 9 years. And then I realized that I needed to do something else to make me feel significant, because I felt that I was sort of falling out of significance, because I would sort of lock myself away and I wasn't doing anything for anybody anymore. And so that's when I looked for something else to do, and that's when I found CASA. And that's what it's done for me. It's made me feel significant again.
For me, being a nurse for several years, CASA opens me up to a new realm of helping the community. With this, I know that there's a child involved. Sometimes I don't always get to work with children as a nurse. So this means getting to help someone in a different area of my life.
When you first meet these children and you go into this situation, they are scared. They don't know why you're there. They are so used to people letting them down. And when it's over, they realize someone does care and someone is going to be there for them for as long as they need it.
I couldn't do without them. And until I took the bench, I didn't realize how important they were. I mean, I dealt with CASA from the other side as an attorney, and I wasn't really quite that aware of how much time and effort each of the volunteers puts into developing they're right up for me. And you got to remember, CASA's volunteers. These are people in the community that care enough about the kids of our community to give their time and go out and help us.
Get ready to change your life, because it will. It will change your outlook on everything.